Hi, this is Chris Murdoch with ccmurdoch.com. Today I want to talk about how we can quit being a creature of habit. All of us have habits that we fall into that we don't even recognize. All of us have things that we do that influence how we get up in the morning, the order in which we get dressed. All of us have that comfort zone of things that we can do without even thinking about it. And some of these habits, of course, are totally benign. They don't impact us in any way. They're just the way we get through the day, from whether you put on your pants with your right leg first or your left leg first. Chances are you do that the same way every time. A little exercise for us to show us how much of a habit we're in. If you'll take your hands and cross them, more than likely you do this the same way every time. And if you'll notice, either your right thumb is on top or your left thumb. And if you do that 100 times automatically without thinking, they'll go together the same way. But if I ask you to do that differently, to take your hands and consciously change the order in which you put them together, to consciously put the opposite thumb on top and to look at how that feels, you'll say that it feels different. It feels awkward. And we need to recognize that that is a very minor change, how you fold your hands, very inconsequential. But if you apply that a little further to the rest of your life, if you apply that to your business thinking, to your financial life, you can see how habits might be holding you back because of that uncomfortable feeling of change. Why is it that we get to be such creatures of habit? Simply because of repetition, simply because we may not know another way. But what if we want to change? What if we recognize that where we are is not where we want to be? How do we quit being a creature of habit? And why are we there in the first place? Well, sometimes we're stuck in a rut, if you will, stuck in the rut of lack of change because we have a herd mentality. That is, we like to be like the others that are around us, whether it's our family, our friends, whatever our circle of influence is that we tend to run in, we tend to associate with people that are like us. And whether that's associating with people of the same financial level of income, whether it's associating with people in the same job arena, we're comfortable there. And daring to step out of that and to do something different is difficult because we all like to be liked. Sometimes we're afraid to step out of things simply because it's hard to change. Newton's first law says that a body in motion tends to stay in motion, and a body at rest tends to stay at rest. Now, oftentimes we think of that as when we're doing nothing, it's hard to get started. Going from inactivity to activity is challenging, and that's true. But the law also says that a body in motion tends to stay in motion in a straight line. It's hard to change course. If you're going down the road of your life and you're going to a certain job and you've been doing that for a long period of time, it's hard to make a change, even if you know that that job is a dead end, even if you know that that's not where you want to be. Sometimes we have to consciously decide to change, and then we have to overcome our fears, because change brings with it fear. The fear of failure. What if I mess up? What if I change and I lose my job, or I give up my job to go pursue my dream of owning my own business? What if I quit my job because I have a vision of being financially independent? If I change my job and change into owning my own business, whether that be a brick and mortar business or a network marketing business, what if I make a change and I fail? How damaging is that? Do we have what it takes to rise above that failure and keep moving on? Sometimes we have a fear of change because we don't want to be ridiculed by our friends, by our family, by our associates, because they don't understand our vision. And sometimes we're limited by the fact that we think other people must have our vision or that we must have their vision. If God has given you a dream, a goal, a vision, don't expect that other people will have that vision. Don't expect that other people should be limited or defined by your vision. But also don't let yourself be defined by other people's vision. We must move forward. If we don't move forward, we stagnate. And if we become stagnant, we will die. Spiritually, emotionally, financially, and yes, even physically. So I want to challenge you. Look at your life, figure out what you want to change. If it's in your financial arena and you have a job that you're uncomfortable with, unhappy with, or simply that you know is not leading you towards the path that you want to walk on, step out. Make that change. Do it little at a time, bit by bit. Progress steadily towards that new goal, and you can overcome the resistance that we have when we have the inertia of moving in a straight line towards something that's unproductive. Do it a little at a time, overcome resistance. So I want to challenge you to take up your vision, put it in writing, look at it every day, and move confidently towards that goal. Don't be stuck in a rut, because we all know that a rut is simply the grave with both ends knocked off. And we don't want to be there any quicker than we are destined to be. So move forward confidently towards the goal that God has given you. I'm Chris Murdoch with today's video blog post. And we'll see you next time at ccmurdoch.com.